That works.
So, I'm here with, welcome to the first episode of the podcast. Welcome.
First episode.
To the Humble Lion. And I'm with Matthew GIUFFRIDA.
That's me. How's it going?
Introduce yourself. I mean, do you go by a title?
I go by King. No, I'm kidding. That's no, not far from that. Just
you can call me Saya.
Saya, exactly. No, just
when people ask you what do you do in life? What do you say?
What do I do in life? I say I'm an actor. That's the first thing I say.
Okay.
And then I guess secondly would be social media content creator. I'll put.
Oh,
yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, I don't like to use influencer because I'm not influencing anyone.
You don't think you are? I feel like you are.
Well, I mean, influencer, I kind of feel like you get that title when you start promoting stuff and products. I don't know if maybe that's just my thought process.
Take on it, yeah. The way I see influencer is kind of just you're changing the way someone acts. And I feel like you've influenced me in making my skits. So I feel like you could be an influencer. Okay,
it's possible. See, I didn't think of it that way, but now you put it that way, there's a lot of kids now who use the brother thing.
The brother?
Yeah. It's it's good on one sense, but then it's bad on the other side. I don't know, I don't know, whatever. It's fun.
For sure. So, okay, like I was telling you, I wanted to talk about 4 aspects.
Yeah.
And the things that I wanted to touch upon are social media, because that's how I know you.
Yeah.
Acting, and building a business in 2019.
Fun stuff.
Yeah.
You know me from acting.
I do know you from acting.
Because of our
music video.
Short?
Long
music video.
Video.
Yeah. It was good. It came out nice. It came out nice. Very nice.
If you want to check it out, it's called...
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's
I have no idea what it's called.
There'll be a link somewhere.
There'll be a link.
There's always a link. Right? Yeah, there's always a link.
Section below.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I think that things that I wanted to touch upon were social media.
Okay.
So that's what I kind of want to start with, because I feel like that's how I know you. And when I met you, you didn't come across as the way you come across on social media, and that's really interesting, because I met you and you were a super chill guy, and we were talking about fitness, and we were talking about just
glutamine.
Acting, glutamine, and then we're let's connect. So after the weekend was over, I go on your social media and I see all of these videos of you, freaking different characters, these different sides of you, and I was like, holy crap, this guy, I had no idea when I met you. So where do you get this inspiration? These little characters, are they all facets of you?
Okay, I don't know about facets of me, but I mean, I've always, ever since I was young, I always loved doing voices and stuff, different accents and all those kind of things. But I would do them for friends, myself, when I'm I talk to myself, I guess we'll say.
I do too. I
mean, I'm not afraid to say it, but I mean, that's how you practice, right? In terms of myself, accents and everything. Mm-hmm. And then for family, so I never really thought of putting this online, because I mean,
you're just showing your soul.
Watch out.
Yeah.
Is the voice funny or is it not funny? It's funny to me, but is it funny to the world and the rest of the people? I don't know. But then, yeah, I mean, it just kind of I just did it.
So what are your characters? Can you do a couple? Can you switch from I personally, my favorite is Brother.
Your favorite is Brother?
My favorite is Brother.
My favorite is Brother. Brother's more RDP. So again, I have a cold, so the accents may vary.
It's okay. So Brother.
But yeah, Brother's more RDP Saint Leonard, bro. An Italian guy who's just chill, bro.
He's really chill,
that's
bro.
It.
Not a care in the world, bro. Not a care about grammatics.
Not a care about grammatics, bro. But he's the most intelligent person in the world, bro.
And what about Martin, man? This guy's upset with life. He hates his life, right?
Martin, I don't know if you see the cone there, man, but he has nightmare every night.
He hates the city he lives in.
The city, I want to run it to make it more better, as Brother would say, And that's it. It's just he's crazy.
But what about Sal? He hates his wife? Why is he living life with a wife that he hates, man?
Look. Deep down, he fucking loves her. You understand? That's it. It's just... Sal's a good guy, you don't want a divorce, you want to stick together, but sometimes things don't go the way they want to go,
Latina. You have to do Latina.
Ah, mais la latina, c'est seulement français qu'il est pour le faire. C'est bizarre parce que j'essaie de faire en anglais, mais c'est pas les mêmes choses.
It's so weird hearing you say all these, because it's like seeing a star. You know, like social media has become so... Sometimes we met one time, and I feel like I know you. I feel like we were just chilling for the whole day, like drawing together.
Yeah.
Because of social media.
Exactly.
And so I feel like when you're doing this, it's kind of like you're a star. I'm like, oh, whoa, like it's weird. And so I guess what I wanted to say was, I totally lost my train of thought.
No, that's all right. You were with
Latina. I just saw that you were putting out like subtitles now. That changed.
Subtitles, yeah. Actually, I had some people write to me and say like, hey, maybe you should do some subtitles because again, Latina, for some reason, I can only do that voice in French. Weird. I can...
You can't do it when you're talking English?
No,
what happens?
I don't know. In English, it sounds different.
Try.
In English, it's more like it's a bit different. It's not the same thing. It's more like a Spanish. I don't know. It's weird. So it's not the same.
I have a question now.
Yeah.
Oh, my dog is going through some stuff.
It's funny. My dog does the exact same thing.
It's called a collapsed trachea when they do that.
Okay.
There's a problem with their throat.
Oh, I had no idea.
Yeah, it's really bad.
Okay, see, learn something new.
A stranger told me that, when I was walking. Why is that not racist? Or is it? And how do you deal with that?
The accents?
Yeah.
Oh,
Because you know what? I saw like a while back.
Yeah.
Like I scrolled really, really far. I creeped your social media.
Yeah.
And I saw that you used to do Chinese accents.
Still do.
You still do?
Yeah.
I haven't seen one.
Yeah.
But so how do you deal with that, the racist aspect?
You know what? I don't think it is.
Neither do I.
I don't think it is,
why?
honestly. Why? It's hard to say. It's hard to say.
You know why I don't think it is? Because why is it that I can do culturally accepted accents? Like, let's say I want to talk British, and I really, really enjoy this accent, and it's really fun for me to do, but I'm not making fun of them because I love it. Well, what if I want to try talking like this? What's different?
Exactly.
What's different?
Honestly,
What's different? Is it because that race has been made fun of more than the English race, and so when we try to embody that, it's looked at as racist because it's been so made fun of that it's just not okay anymore?
Honestly, I think where the racism, like, I don't know, like some...
It's hard.
It's hard because it's a voice, and it's like... I guess it would be the same thing as almost like dressing similar to that culture. Like if I were to change and I don't know, start dressing, wearing certain
like
things.
If
I were to wear a kilt, like am I being racist to Scottish people or whatever? So I mean, it gets a bit complicated. I think where racism starts to come into effect is where you start using stereotypes.
Yeah. Okay.
Like if I'm gonna start talking, like my most recent Asian one that I did was a real estate agent. So I don't throw myself on camera, and I walk around the basement, and I'm just like, come by this house and everything, and like it was with the Asian accent.
Oh, okay.
But what was funny was it's the sound of the Asian accent. I guess that's what makes it funny, or the way the words are pronounced, or whatever it is. You know what I'm saying?
So if you have a racist comment, how do you deal with it? Like, oh, you're being racist.
I have had that.
Okay, and how do you deal with it?
Honestly, I have to say I haven't had many. I've had maybe a few, maybe a handful. Politeness. Like I get like someone was offended by something I did. Step one, I apologize.
Okay.
Step two, like that's not my intention. My intention is not to hurt. Okay.
Especially with comedy.
Exactly.
Really
I'll get into that like right after this. So like I apologize. I say that like that's not my intention, and that's basically it. Just a genuine, honest apology. But again, that's not my intention. Now, you look at people just for laughs or whatever getting on stage. I mean, for crying out loud, we have a nasty show. We have the ethnic show, where the point of the show is to make fun of cultures.
Yeah.
Make fun of Italians. Like people will make fun of like Italians. People make fun of Portuguese or whatever. Like I don't get offended.
Yeah.
I'm half Italian, half Portuguese. Just
okay.
yeah. So like I don't get offended, you know. Like, I think honestly with 2019 with social media, I think it's just so much easier for people to get offended, and you see it more and more and more. And I mean, I think it's just like with social media it's easy to complain behind a screen.
Yeah. You
know what I'm saying? It's a lot easier to do that in today's time, and I think people feel empowered when they do that. And it sucks because what you're doing is you're putting someone else down. You know, in terms of like in terms of like racism, but also in terms of like just content wise, like you suck or whatever. Anything. You know, it's like it's simple to do that behind a screen.
No, I really wanted to ask about that because I know that you're like probably the only person I know doing different accents and stuff, and I just don't know where the line is. Like, can I become like an Asian character, or is that just not okay? Can I have these types of accents? So it's interesting. It's kind of like you do what you want to do, but just be careful of the repercussions.
Yeah, you know, like I stay away from like the voice. I think what people like is the voice.
Yeah. The
sound of it. Something like Latina, like it's the sound of the voice. Mm-hmm. Like, but I don't like Latina was funny is like the J's. You know, Jack and Jones, Yak and Jones.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. So I'll use that as comedy.
Yeah.
I won't like start making fun of like a culture, like an actual like when you start going into stereotypes. I think that's where like you're kind of playing with fire a little bit. People do it, but I mean, and it depends. That's what you want. But like for me, like I'm trying to keep it like just a very like a general like a light comedy sort of thing where they just kind of vulgar. So surprisingly, there's a lot of kids who watch my stuff, like a lot of young kids. Brother doesn't swear in those videos, so I try to keep that light. But like Sal, Martin, they just let him rip, and I don't care.
It's okay.
You know, but I mean that's it. Like.
And where do you get the idea for these characters? Like, do you think that they're a part of you in some weird way?
Not really. I think if I can do the accent, I'll create a character, and I like creating characters because it allows people to kind of connect more with them, maybe see something in them as well, like kind of relate. Whereas just doing like a one-hit wonder sort of thing, like just doing a voice, one-hit wonder, that's it, that's all, like, you know, the video blows up, but then the guy can't do anything else, you know?
Exactly.
Whereas Martin, like for example, Martin, people relate because it's like all the construction, the snow, the problems,
and he's never
the
gonna
city.
run out of content.
And he doesn't run out of content because if one day I decide, you know what, Martin's gonna go get a haircut, well now everyone's like, oh shit, yeah, I want to watch Martin go get a haircut. It's not like Martin is a person. It's me, but it's not me.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not Martin right now. I don't have the red shirt, white tie.
So what is your creative process when you're, like, about to build a video?
I think of an idea first, general topic. So, it's snowing outside right now, so it would be like Martin snow. Martin snowfall or snowstorm. And then I just kind of start writing from there. I like to write in the mornings with a clear mind. I've kind of figured that that's my best time to write.
Oh, really?
Mornings, yeah. Wake up at, early if I can. And then write out as many as I can.
As many what?
Skits.
Yeah.
Because I mean they're minute skits. So for me, like, it doesn't take too long. Like in an hour, I could probably write like maybe, if the ideas flow, 4 skits.
Wow.
So that would be like 3-4 Mondays in a row of content done.
That's insane. And do you have like a different day to just film all the skits? Do you film everything in one day?
So here's where the honesty comes in. That's what I'm kind of like, my New Year's resolution was to get more organized.
Okay.
And stuff, because I've always been filming on the day of. So I'll write, like today alone, I'm gonna have to write Sal and post Sal.
Okay.
And film and post today.
Yeah.
So it's on the day of. I don't like that. And I all my ideas are planned for like the whole month, but then to write them and film them is like, I have to get a little more organized with that, because I'm trying to work on a whole bunch of different projects, and I can't hit those projects like today. So right now, in the back of my mind, I'm thinking about Sal tonight, right, while I'm here. Whereas in reality, I should just be like focused on this and not have to worry about that. That should be done already.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's where I'm trying to get organized and trying to film like everything in advance. So that's that.
Okay.
Honestly, I mean, that's what it is. You know, I'm not gonna try to make it seem glamorous and like, yeah, I've got everything under control. I mean, it's sometimes like
100%.
you know, when you get sick, like I got sick with the flu last week, I had to skip Sal. I had to skip Sal,
so you do let your people know.
Oh yeah, I told them. Okay. And then what I did is I made a funny video where Sal sent one of his guys to come speak to me to say, don't you dare miss the day again.
Yeah, I saw that.
So like that, I try to make it fun, you know.
Yeah.
I try to get, then that Wednesday they got 2 videos instead of 1. So I try to
cool.
compensate and stuff, like.
So you really care about your fans.
100%. It's funny. I like to think it's not about the followers, the number of followers, but it's all about the followers. So whether you have 10, whether you have 100, I'm the same person mentality wise.
You know what? It's not about the number of followers. It's about the follower.
Exactly. What they want to see, what they want to like. The same, like when I had 100 followers, those 100 followers are still watching me, but they're expecting the same thing from when I was at only 100.
And now you're at 12,000. Something 12 point something.
13.
13. So
yeah.
how did you grow your page? What are the tricks, man?
What are the tricks? Consistency and just loving what you do, really.
But within the last couple months, I mean, you've blown up, right? Like, how did you get all this traction so fast?
People liked my stuff, I guess, and decided to share it on their pages that had more people, that had more followers. And in that sense, it's kind of like, oh, who's this new guy? And then they start following and then telling people and stuff. So like I kind of really hit. It's funny, I was speaking to Nir about this.
Yeah, he was telling me actually.
Yeah, and he's like you were smart and you went after the like Italian community, Bretter, Sal, that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm. The niche market.
The niche market. So you kind of built that fan base up. I have a lot of followers in Montreal. Now I want to try to branch out to like New York, to the States a little bit.
So are hashtags important?
Hashtag 100%.
So what do you...
30 every time.
Yeah, 100%. But do you switch them up or do you do the same ones?
When I first started, I was typing out 30 hashtags.
Me
per
too. I'm
video.
still typing out.
Yeah, no, don't type out.
Why?
Don't type out.
So you have them pasted somewhere?
I have copy pasted and I save them on my clipboard for my videos. So I do 20 general ones. So MTL, Montreal, Montreal actors, Los Angeles, New York City, to try to like hit that market all the time. General, so like comedy skits, general, about what your topic is about. And then the last 10 I'll write out specific. So if I'm talking about Martin, I'll type in Montreal construction, French Canadian, Quebec, Saint Jerome. Like I'll hit, because Martin might not work in New York City, but it's gonna work hard in Quebec.
Okay, yeah. So sometimes I watch your videos and I'm like, okay, how much of this is scripted and how much of this is actually just like running on your own fumes, running on your own inspiration within the moment? Because sometimes I'm like, no, there's no way you could have scripted that. You'll be talking and then you'll say something and then you'll feel the moment. You'll do a little breathing. And then I'm like, is it all scripted?
Pretty much.
Because you run on and on and on for that minute.
Yeah, so that minute, like the most recent one I posted was 100% scripted. Sometimes in the moment I'll I'll do a breath or I'll look away to kind of make it seem like a little more natural. But in terms of the writing, it's pretty much all scripted. Now, it might not be word for word, but it's pretty much all scripted. Yeah, it's all scripted. Yeah.
That's impressive. Because it doesn't look scripted. It looks just like in the moment choices. Yeah. And so that brings me to acting. So what would you... Okay, in an ideal world, what is your dream job? Is it really to be an actor on somebody else's project, on somebody else's set, filming for like 2 months at a time? Because I feel like the word actor is changing now, especially now that we have social media. Like, that is not something that I want to do as an actor, as an aspiring actor. More towards like what you're doing online. That's kind of what I want. So what do you want acting-wise?
It's okay. Yeah, I'd like to star in movies, in TV shows, bigger projects, definitely. But always with the intention of entertaining people. Like I want like, like when you go watch like a Will Ferrell movie, like you kind of know like what you're gonna get. Like Kevin Hart, like what you're gonna get when you watch those movies. That's in comedy. I do like to act serious too, as well. But I mean, like, it's always in terms of like an entertainment. Like, that's my goal. Now, whether that's in movies, whether that's strictly on Instagram, whether that's through YouTube, whether that's through like a talk show host, even I've thought of as well. Like,
really?
Yeah, for sure. Like anything that this is a good start. I know. Yeah, exactly. But that's it. Like, I'm interested in whatever entertains people. You know,
Let's say that you were on a set for 2 months and you couldn't post on your social media. How would that make you feel?
I've thought of that. Because that's something that can. So this goes along with my thought of organizing myself. If I can always have a month in advance of content, well, that kind of like gives me some time to like plan basically. But then at the same time, like you do get some days off, you know. And my skits, like I'm pretty quick with the. I'm grateful for that. That I'm quick with ideas.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes like honestly speaking, sometimes like those Asian ones, because it's just the voice that people like. I'll do anything. I'll give you a description of the mic right now with the Asian voice,
and I would love it.
And that's a video.
Just do 10 seconds.
Do a 10-second of the Samsung G-Track mic over here. You know, it's just you put the earphone in. You do, you know, you set your screen protector here. Like that's it. Like
and it's so entertaining, and I love it.
You know,
it's like food. It's like you're feeding us.
But and that's what I love. And you know what? Honestly, I've received some messages from people where like they'll tell me like videos like make my day and stuff. And honestly, I love that. Like that's why I do it.
Yeah.
You know, it's fun. Like it's not a popularity game. It's not about how many follow. Like I see people like, oh, bro, you're at like 13,000 followers. That's great. I mean, like, yeah, it's cool. Like there's people are liking my stuff. But at the end of the day, like it's not about the amount. It's
about the few people who actually message you back, being like, I didn't laugh about anything today, and this video changed everything.
100%, you know, because you see people that have like 100,000 followers, but then they've got like 14 comments, no messages. I mean, like it's like your number is great, big, like it's cool, but there's no engagement. There's no tangible feeling with that. Like for me, like I like to, I answer all my comments.
Me too. It's so important.
You got to do that.
Where did we learn that?
Gary Vaynerchuk. Gary Vaynerchuk, exactly.
And that's something that we have in common. We like, Gary's our father.
Big time. Gary, if you're watching this.
Like, man.
Jesus.
Know how much you've influenced us.
He got me started in this. This podcast is Gary V's baby right now. He just doesn't even know it. Exactly.
That's amazing to have such an impact on somebody's life. And I think that's what we're striving for too. What do you think that you're doing this for? This social media, like what?
To entertain people.
But like, why? Why is that important to you? To entertain people? Where does that come from? What's the need?
There's just, in today's time, there's just so, like, especially with social media, there's a lot of negativity going around. Because it's so easy to like tell people off or to put people down, and we're just living such busy lives where it's just it's work and you come home and it's more work at home or whatever it is. You know, it's traffic. You're spending time in traffic and like you get a lot of people too. Like, oh, I watched your couple of videos while I was in traffic. Like, it's not necessarily safe, but I mean like cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever it is, whatever I can help people escape, not escape reality, because you gotta be in reality. Like this is the life we're living.
I think that's a huge topic that you bring up, because it really says that there's something wrong with our reality, that we need to create an escape from this life that we're living. That's what I'm trying to do here, is like bring that to light. Like, why is the world so unhappy? Why are we striving for these things to give our lives meaning? And this escaping reality.
Yeah.
Why do we live in this reality that needs escaping?
Honestly, I don't know. Like, some people will tell you like social media is the cause of all this. You know what I'm saying? That like before it was like, you know, before it was like you go grab a ball, you go to the park, and you go play at the park. I mean, like I can understand where they come from, but I mean at the end of the day, like social media has created so much opportunity.
You know what I think? I think that social media, and exactly like what Gary Vee says, I 100% agree with it. Social media is not changing us. Social media is just exposing us.
Yeah.
I think that, you know, people who went to the park with their ball were still extremely unhappy. We just didn't know about it because it wasn't broadcast for the world to see.
Yeah, I mean, like, you hear it a lot, like with like I guess an older generation, like on our parents' age, where like they were sleeping in like a room with like 3 other, you know, like technically speaking, like nowadays, you know, you have your own room, you have a laptop, you've got cameras to do podcasts, you got Instagram, you got things that kind of like like you have things now, whereas
Yeah.
back then they didn't have things. So I get what you mean by that. We're like we just maybe we
We're
didn't
more
know that
connected.
they were.
We're just more connected.
We're more connected for sure. Yeah.
So-
now it's through the screen. You know, people say like, you know, you gotta lose, like you're losing that personal connection. Whereas like,
But are we though? Because I would never know of you, and I would never keep in contact with you had it not been for that television music video that we created. And I would not have this close bond with you, having only met you once, knowing exactly what you do all the time, if it weren't for social media.
exactly.
So I feel like we are more connected
We're more connected. We're just connected
in different ways.
in a different way.
And what's wrong with that? This is the evolution of human nature.
That's something. Yeah. So 100%. Like everything is evolving, right? Everything is changing, and like some people just don't want to change.
Exactly.
That's where things get a little. That's where like the negativity comes in. You know, it's like, oh, it's not like it used to be. It's not like it used to be. Instead of like, look at what we got now and what can we do with what we have now.
Exactly.
Like what opportunities? Like okay, like you know, well we didn't have all this Instagram back then. Well, that's like negative thinking. Like we didn't have that. It's we have Instagram now. What can we do with it? What are the positive things? Like people will say like Instagram is bad. Instagram is bad. Well then it's not negative. And I guess that's where the release, not the release, the escape comes into effect. You know, so I mean.
But then I do think that there's an issue with just mindlessly scrolling and not because
Oh,
I can do that. I can do that. Like if I'm having a bad day and I'm feeling really foggy, I can just do that and I'm like, okay, this is the issue. It's the mindlessness and the not being present, and then the just.
So it's that, and what I've thought of as well, what I've realized is that, so you're scrolling and then you fall on Jessica. And Jessica
Has her life figured the fuck out.
yeah, but not only that, but you see Jessica is in LA on, you know,
A private yacht.
on a private
With
yacht
Gary Vee.
with Gary Vee, and now you're like, okay, so now you scroll to the next one, and it's like Sarah is stepping out of a brand new Mercedes, and you swipe, and now there's Derek, and Derek is flashing his cash,
Yeah. Fanning it.
you know,
yeah.
fanning his cash, and now it's like the next one is this guy saying, yo, follow my 6 steps if you want this Lamborghini. So now your mind is like, well,
What am I doing
Jessica,
wrong?
Sarah, Derek, and now this guy's like, this guy has some steps here. Maybe I can be like, because I'm just sitting here scrolling.
Yeah.
That's an issue.
That's an issue.
That's a big issue. Because you don't know what, like...
What it took for them to get there.
Yeah.
Or if it's even real.
Or if it's even real. That's the problem, is if it's real.
Yeah.
Because anyone can make it seem... You know, I see myself in terms of, like, the way I'll dress, I can say. Like, I'll put on a suit, a watch, fix my hair a certain way, and then kind of, like, make it seem like this guy is some big business guy.
Oh, yeah.
But the suit was $200, not $6,000. The watch is, like, from... like Wish,
eBay.
not even Wish, like
Yeah.
literally like a $13 watch that's not even ticking.
Yeah.
You know, but like it looks a certain way, and people are like, well, I want to be like that. I want to be in the suit.
Yeah.
I want to be in this. I want to be in that car. But is that car rented? Is that even his?
Yeah.
Is it parked on the street? And like I could take a video sitting on the guy's car. Hopefully he doesn't walk by.
Sorry, we had to get a tea break
Tea break.
and SD card
And,
refill
yeah.
break.
Exactly.
So you were saying, yeah, like what is real with social media? What is fake?
Yeah, exactly. So I think where I was left off was like the whole 7-step thing,
Yeah.
right? Where everyone has like a 6-step process to success or money or whatever it is. The stuff that people want. People are always driven by the wads of cash, the jewelry, the cars.
But I mean, it's nice though. This is what we want in life. Is it not?
No.
Do we not want a lifestyle to sustain our creative process? Because right now, you and I are suffering financially because, and we're doing what we love, right?
I'm gonna interrupt you right there. You got to hear that again, all right? We're doing what we love.
But we're broke
But
as
we're broke
fuck.
as
Fuck.
fuck. Exactly.
We're so broke.
Can't even afford the paint for this cone right here. You understand? Like, Yeah, so that, we're doing what we love, but the money's not there right now. But I'm not driven by a $200,000 watch.
Fuck no.
Even if I had $200,000 to blow on a watch, I don't know. It doesn't seem like fun in my aspect. Some people like that, and that's great. But again, like Irvi says, like that stuff kind of like, what happens when you have the $200,000 watch?
Then what?
That's what I was talking about the.
It's okay. He's really sick right now. He's a trooper.
So like once you get the Ferrari,
then what?
Then you're filled. What do you
with extreme unhappiness?
Exactly.
That was your goal.
That was your goal, and then you achieve the goal, and it's like, what's next? A Lamborghini? But then you're constantly like, whereas if you're just loving what you're doing, you wake up in the morning, do that, and that's it.
Okay.
Don't mean to sound cheesy.
No, I know, but then at a certain point, look at us. Are you waking up every day doing what you love? Because I am.
Yeah.
You are. Okay, now where's the cha-ching?
Patience.
Is that really the answer?
Patience.
Do you really think that
I think so.
A cup full of patience will bring us money, and like how long does this patience last? How long until like we give up and say, okay, like 20 years down the line, imagine we're still doing this. Yeah, we've got a little bit of traction, but we're still not making enough money. And how much is enough money?
Yeah, well, I mean, that all is based on like your lifestyle, right? On what you want to, is just covering your bills and being flush what you want. Do you want a trip every year? Do you want new equipment every year?
5 kids.
5 kids. It depends what you want, right? But at the same time, you gotta kind of be realistic a little bit as well, right? Like at a certain point, if you're noticing that, like, now I need this in my life, but I'm gonna need to take on a part-time job, or I'm gonna need to take on a full-time job. That's great, but there's time to always work on your thing. A video for me, from beginning to end, if I try to do it like on the spot, an hour and a half. I can find an hour and a half a day to make one video. And the thing is that it's that one video with social media, that one post, that one whatever, that's going to launch you, that someone's going to be like, oh, this is really funny. Come on, CTV, come speak to me on this. And then you start building
a business from there. So are you in the process of building your own business?
Yes, I can say that.
What does that entail?
Social media, online. So whether it's YouTube, whether it's Instagram, whatever it is, that's a business. That's what people have to understand now, is that
you are your own business.
You are your own business. Your name, whatever it is, your brand is your personal brand, your name, and that could be your business. Now
think about Gary Vee.
Yeah.
What he says is he laughs when people call themselves entrepreneur, but they're not selling anything.
Yeah.
That's what I do. I call myself an entrepreneur, but I'm not selling anything. I don't have a book to sell. I'm not selling pieces of clothing, no bracelets. Do I merit that title?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you need to be an entrepreneur. I don't think you need to be selling things exactly to be an entrepreneur.
I'm pretty sure the definition of entrepreneur is like business person. And can you really have your own business if you're not selling anything? But okay, I guess as actors, we're selling ourselves in the nice in the nice form. Exactly. Whether I'm selling, like I don't need to sell a T-shirt to call yourself an entrepreneur.
To call myself an entrepreneur, you know what I'm saying? Like if I want to sell a spot, okay, so I guess I can see where he's coming from in terms of like selling stuff, like, because I know if I want to sell a spot, a post on my page, well, I guess I'm still selling something. I'm not. Maybe I guess my mind kind of went to create. Like I don't know. I'm not even creating
No, it's tough, and it's tough to launch your own business when you are the product of your business.
Yeah.
It's easy for people to say, "I'm going to start a shoe company," and then they know that they have to create the shoes a certain way. But when it's yourself, where do you even start? And I think that's where we're both at. Like we know that social media is so important. We know that having a presence online is so important, and because we're actors, we do skits, and I'm like trying this podcast because I really want to pick your brain and see where you're at. But so patience is the answer.
I think, because what happens in my thing, so patience, but then the thing is that you also have to have good content. At the end of the day, like, I don't want to be mean or anything. Like, if your shit sucks, it's not going to grab any traction. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just, and I say with my stuff, I post some things and I'm like, okay, well, this shit sucks. But how do I know? By posting it, by doing it. If you're just going to sit at home and say, I could post this video today, I could be good, could not be good. And I've posted some things where I'm like,
why the fuck did you post that?
You know? No,
I've posted
some stuff where I'm kind of like, I don't know, post it.
Blows up.
Best video.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of like, and I mean, it's all, like, it's very subjective, right? Mm-hmm. But the thing is that, like, this podcast on YouTube can generate views and views and views and views and subscribers. And then if your stuff is good and people are learning stuff from it, well, I mean, the money is going to come from YouTube. YouTube's going to pay you for your views. So you're not really selling anything. You're just doing what you love. You're interviewing people.
Yeah.
But now you might decide to interview people here at a cafe, or now this cafe might say, hey, you're in Montreal, show up at my cafe. I'll pay you $200, but just have my logo in the background.
That's amazing.
So it's...
I don't know, though. This line is looking pretty great in the background.
No. Like, this logo is going to be hard to beat. This logo is going to be...
And for all you listeners, go check this video out on YouTube, because you can't miss the cone either.
Exactly. There's some serious artistic value.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did we even tell them that we drew this?
Well, I think it's pretty obvious. Okay. No? Like, we're talented people. Like, you got, like, half my cone. The cone is there.
I drew the lion. It looks pretty...
Exactly.
Humble.
Well, it looks like a pretty humble lion. It sounds familiar. I don't know where I'm getting that from.
So, So on acting, I did want to talk to you about this. I'm really interested to hear what you have to say. Do you think that internet and online acting is butchering the art of acting? Because online acting and acting for film and TV is totally different. And when I make videos about, like, dumb shit, like, oh, is the earth flat or is it round? Like, that I would never do on TV. And people in the industry would look at that video and be like, holy crap, this is really bad acting. But it's a different kind of acting. Do you agree?
Okay. It's a different kind of acting, right? But it's not... It's a different kind of acting, but it's not butchering the TV acting. What TV movie acting? It's offering another domain. It's offering another... what's the word I'm looking for?
Lens.
Another lens. Another category, we'll say. There's comedy, there's horror, there's whatever. It's almost like another... another category, right? Because you can't compare Kevin Hart comedy movie to it's Rowan Atkinson,
okay,
Mr. Bean.
Oh yeah,
he doesn't talk, but there's a whole movie about it, and Mr. Bean is extremely popular.
That's
so it's two completely, you know what I'm saying? So, like, and in terms of, like, skits the way we do it, how is it necessarily different than Mad TV or SNL?
Yeah, SNL, I guess I'm just comparing it more to, like,
an
TV,
actual movie.
Like, or, like, television, like
100%.
Big Bang Theory.
Definitely.
2.5 Men.
And how is what we're doing right now different than Oprah
Winfrey's talk show?
Oprah Winfrey.
It's not. Like, Ellen. We're on Ellen's level.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, it's different in terms of, like, the professionalism and, like...
This is not professional.
It's extremely professional. I'm insulting her on her own podcast on the first show.
Wow.
It's no, but
nerd.
You know what I mean. Like, the studio audience, calm down, please. Like, no, but yes, but, like, you get what I mean.
Yeah, I know
right?
what you mean.
I mean, like,
So, do you ever struggle to produce content, and what do you do if you're struggling? Do you ever go, like, a week or 2 weeks where you're like, got nothing, I'm dry?
No. Nope.
So you always have something in your head that you want to say?
Yeah. Because, like I said before, I've created characters, so it's kind of easy for me to just put these characters in different situations.
Okay.
Like, literally speaking, like, I've thought about this. How many weeks are in a year? 52? 56? 52. 52. Right, okay.
52, yeah.
52 weeks. I need 52 ideas for each character. You know what I'm saying?
That's it.
Take each, if I wanted to, take away all the holidays, because Valentine's comes around. That week there is all the characters for Valentine's Day, Christmas, New Year's. It's what I did. So, like,
use the seasons.
Seasons. Use, like, so it's seasonal stuff that happens in the news. That's always changing. Stores, like, I can just go to a park, a store, a skate park, sports, like I can like all these little things can be a subject from them. You know what I'm saying? Super Bowl weekend. I didn't even think of that actually for my.
So do you think that people give up or people fail because not because they're out of ideas, but because they don't think it's worth it anymore? Or why do you think people give up?
Not patient.
Really?
Not patient. Patience is a big factor. Patience really is.
But what about self-awareness? What if they suck and they know it and that's why they give up? Do you think
there's no problem with that?
But what if they really wanted it? What if it's their dream but they suck?
I'd like to be Alexander Ovechkin and be a fantastic hockey player, but I can't.
Okay, but what if it was your dream to be a hockey player?
Dreams, I'd say, are different than... You know where I'm going with this?
No.
No? Passion.
Okay.
I think, like it's a dream. Like, yeah, like it's almost like a dream to have a massive house with Ferraris and cars and everything. Like I'd love cars. So like I'd love one of every fast car, we'll say, supercar, whatever. But like what gets me going in the morning, it's not the idea of owning a house and cars, it's the to create funny content and stuff. So going back to like a dream of being a hockey player, it's like that's not what's gonna get me up every morning. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
But like for someone who like tries something, fails, like I could have given up after like 2-3 months.
Yeah.
And kind of, but the thing is though is that I was seeing a slow increase.
Okay.
So like a couple followers here, a couple followers there, some comments and stuff, and like slowly building. And keep in mind that in terms of my stuff, I didn't like the first time you met me, I didn't tell you I had an Instagram page.
Nothing. When I came across your Instagram, I was like,
you were like,
who is this
yeah,
guy that I just met in real life?
Yeah, because I've always been like that. I want my content to speak for itself.
Yeah.
I don't want to tell people, guys, go check out my funny videos.
Dude, I literally, you gave me your name. I went on your page, and I think I like commented on 6 or 7 of your videos, just like ha 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 in capitals.
Yeah, it's
actually
just
really funny.
Because for me, like I don't like telling people like, oh guys, go check out this video. It's really funny. It's me. Tag all your friends in it. Like to me, I don't necessarily like that.
And then
I'll give my name and then like I'll let you find out. If you want to share, like if you would go on my page and see who liked my videos, you won't find my name there. I don't like my own videos. And I tell people, if you didn't laugh, don't like it because he's a funny guy, so I'm just gonna like his stuff. Yeah. Because that doesn't help me.
No. No, and I don't like the videos, some of your videos, because I'm not gonna like it just to give you a like. Okay,
so this is because I insulted your. Okay, exactly. I see how it is.
Like,
we're throwing shade here.
No, we're not. But like, for instance, you're not gonna make an amazing video every single time you sit down to produce. And just like I remember hearing this from Ed Sheeran, he's like, you have to get the crap out of you to reach the gold. You have to produce the crappy songs to hit the freaking pot of gold. So you have to produce shitty videos to get amazing videos. Why are you laughing?
I'm laughing because have you seen like the shit I was doing before? Like when I first started?
I've scrolled all the way down to your social media, so I'm sure I saw it, but it was still funny back then.
I mean, it was okay, but
not compared to
all my videos now are filmed widescreen.
Yeah.
Before it was kind of like selfie thing.
Yeah.
The accents, some of them were really bad. Like my first video was a McGregor video, and it was bad. I look back and I'm like, wow, this guy's an idiot.
But you would never delete it.
Of course not.
Of course not.
Why? Of course not. People have to see that. People have to see like look how he started. It can't
exactly.
Like my YouTube channel. I have videos there from when I was 12.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Because I started then in high school. I started doing commentary videos in my room, talking about Call of Duty and Battlefield, those things. Normal high school guy things, and it was picking up. It was picking up probably quicker than my Instagram was picking up, and I stopped it because it's like, well, it's not a real job. You got to go to school and you got to, I have subscribers on my YouTube channel right now. The majority of them are from back then.
That's crazy.
So I mean, when I look at that, I'm like, that speaking of regret, that's one of my biggest regrets. I'll tell you 100% every single day. Biggest regret is stopping in high school, because I don't know where I've been, where I would have been today.
Yeah.
So now I'm kind of like, I'm in this, and I'm not gonna stop because I'm only at 13 or I'm only.
That's the thing, though. Do you really regret it? Because now you're living your life with that in mind, with that regret in mind, knowing that you'll never give this up. Because 10 years down the line, where will you be if you do give it up?
So like, I regret in the sense of like where I could have been, but at the same time, you gotta learn from everything. You know, you can't live in the past. But you gotta kind of peek once in a while to kind of assess where you're at today.
Yeah, I agree.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there's that, what's that quote there? Like, there's a reason why you look out the windshield and not the review mirrors, because the review mirror is small and it doesn't, like, you don't drive a car in reverse because it's like the review mirror is smaller than the windshield. Yeah, that sort of thing.
I've never heard that. Okay.
Yeah, so it's cool, but I mean, at the end of the day, like, you have to kind of revisit here and there so you don't repeat certain mistakes.
Yeah.
You know, and that's it. But don't live in the past, because you're gonna waste time and you're just going to spiral, and that's it.
So we spoke about social media, we spoke about acting, and I guess just to touch upon the business side, since we did kind of talk about that too.
Yeah.
You were talking about how you want to start shifting your Instagram to be more about commercials.
Yeah.
So explain that.
Yeah. My view on Instagram is that everybody is doing a sort of like swipe up to buy those crayons, swipe up to try this tea, or swipe up for like 15% off on whatever. And I personally, I don't like that. Mm-hmm. I find it like I gotta scroll through stories and like swipe up. No, I don't want. There's no there's value for me, but at the end of the day, it's like
noise.
You know, it's noise. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then even like posts, as I'm scrolling and it's a post about like this product, whereas in my sense, on my page, people come to watch funny videos.
Yeah.
So my idea is, how do I monetize that without being annoying and without wasting people's time? Is creating funny commercials with characters that people like, or new characters, for a business, for a product. But at least people that come to the page will be watching kind of like a Super Bowl commercial, the way I like to say it. And it's like they'll watch something funny, brother buying crayons. But then at the end of it, it's like swipe up for 15%, or like use this promo code 15% off Crayola crayons.
But you still put them through an awesome video.
But I put them through an awesome video. So even if you don't care about Crayola crayons,
you didn't waste your time.
Like, you still laughed at the end of it. You know, you got to laugh out of it. And laughing is like, it's important.
Why?
We need that.
Because to escape this reality.
To escape the reality, but I mean like...
Because it's just fucking fun to laugh,
It's
man.
just fucking great to laugh, and it puts you in a different mood. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll create videos, and sometimes like I'll be writing them and I'm laughing at myself. Not to say that like I'm like, oh, I think I'm funny, but just like,
it's okay if you think you're funny.
You know, I don't know. That's it. Like, it's fun to laugh.
Yeah.
You know, and it's okay to like. That's another thing. So many people like, I don't want to start a fitness page. I don't want to start this. Well, why? Well, everyone's doing that.
Doesn't mean.
But why?
I know it sounds cheesy, but you're your only. You're the only
exactly.
You're gonna have a different spin no matter what you do, as long as you're being true to your core. And sometimes 100%. You know what? I think it's hard to be truthful when you don't know who you are. So you have to find yourself to be truthful. And sometimes you just start and you don't really know what you're portraying because you don't know who you are, but you'll find yourself in the process of starting.
Yeah. 100%. And the other thing too is that like, why can't like comedy pages, like there's so many comedians. Why can't I like Jerry Seinfeld and Kevin Hart?
You can.
Why can't I?
Who's telling you can't?
You know, no one. But people are like, but like Jerry Seinfeld already does comedy, so why am I going to do comedy?
No, it's such a bad outlook.
You know what I'm saying? Like they did that, so I'm not going to do it because it's already done. So, but
yeah,
you know, it's like you said, you're your own you.
That's it. That's
your difference. You know, that's what it is. And it's so much easier to put that out there with social media. That's why I started Instagram. That's why I started the Instagram page. It was like motivation at first and stuff. But then when I got into acting, well, I stopped. I stopped school. What's that?
You're so stuffed.
I'm like,
I
can't even like.
It's okay. We have about 9 minutes left. So I do want to ask you, like, what are your biggest struggles? These are not. I have two last questions that I want to ask you at the end. But because you seem like you have a lot of it figured out. You know the answer is patience. You have to be self-aware. You just have to keep going and you'll make it. But what are some of the deepest struggles that you go through on the daily? You said you have to get organized, but get deeper. Tell the people listening what kind of struggles you deal with, maybe on a personal level, maybe confidence-wise, or I'm not saying you are, but anything that you struggle with on a deep level. And if you don't, that's amazing.
Well, look, I mean, so again, the biggest struggle is the organization factor, okay. 100%. Because I feel like right now, the way my mind works is that I'm working, we'll say 80% of my time on my work, but if I was organized, that 80% would actually be only 40%.
Yeah.
So if I'm organized, bring that down to 40%.
You have this chunk.
Add an extra 40%. Well, now what am I doing? I'm doing so much more.
Exactly.
Because you see all these guys like TV shows in the morning. I film here. Then I'm doing a radio show here. Then I'm running my business here. Then I have this other business and I'm teaching. Yeah. And it's like, how are you doing all this? That's what it is. It's time management, organization, biggest struggle. And then there are some days. I'm not gonna lie. There are some days where you're wondering is this gonna work out? There's like a hint, like a slight hint.
And then how do you get back on track and like shut that voice off? Be like, nope, not listening to you.
Mental strength. Honestly, it's just like, no, like, you know why you're doing this.
Why? What's your why?
It fires me up to do this. I'm going home now to film. Why? Something. I love it's what I do so effortlessly, and it's what I love to do. That's a combination, I think, that people have to realize, is what you can do so effortlessly, but that you're passionate about, that you love doing. Because I can love doing something, but if it's really hard for me to do and it takes me like 10, 12 hours a day, yeah, you can work at it. I get it. But then there's that something that, like, people ask me, how do you do accents? I don't know.
I hear them.
I don't know. And then I hear them. I hear an accent. I hear a word, and I'll repeat one word over and over, and then I'll add 2 words and 3 words and 4 words, and then at the end of it, it's just like I understand how that how that accent is supposed to sound. Yeah. And that's it for me.
That's a talent.
I don't know how I do that. I've done it ever since I was young.
That's amazing.
In 6th grade, I did a presentation in front of the school. I was Borat. I kept it PG-13, but I was Borat.
I can see you playing Borat.
Ich schmisch. And so that's that, I guess.
All right. Well, I guess we'll close it out with the final 2 questions.
Questions
that I will ask everyone on the podcast. So we have 5 minutes left. The first one is, what are some life hacks that you've started using that have totally made you work harder to reach your goals? Life hacks. This can be one thing. This can be 3 things that you do on the daily that they're just life hacks.
Interesting. Getting yourself in a mindset, I guess.
Like, you wake up in the morning, do you meditate? Like
I don't meditate. That's something I want to do.
That's okay. You have to meditate. Being mindful is just as good.
But like, that's my thing. It's just it's like a just wake up and try to be the best version of myself that day.
What if someone doesn't know how? How can they do that? What about like sticky notes?
That's the thing. Like, if there's something, I have a lot of, okay, we'll put it this way. I have a lot of agendas and books that I like try to keep things organized and stuff. I have a lot of that, but that I've been using that for a while. But it's more a mindset of trying to just wake up in the morning and being like, how can I be the best version of myself today? And just trying to focus. But that goes back to just, it's when you know that you're doing something that you love.
Yeah.
I think it's that step, because once you figure it out, I think everything else just kind of pieces together. In terms of like the money we were speaking about before, like, that's gonna come. I'm not worried about that. I'm making contacts. I'm making,
that you can do now. That's it.
Yeah, focus on what you can do now. Exactly. If like, don't worry about like, worry a bit. Like, you have to keep that in mind. You have to keep it in mind, but at the same time, like, what can I do now to just be the best version of myself right now.
To help Matthew next year. To help
Exactly.
Matthew in 5 years.
100%. Exactly. I don't know if that's a life hack that you were...
No, I mean, it's whatever life hack works for you that people can be mindful of. Maybe someone will listen to this and will wake up tomorrow being like, the best version of myself, what does that look like?
Yeah.
And then it'll get them thinking.
Yeah.
So that's a life hack, definitely.
Ask yourself in the morning, are you happy?
And what can you do to make yourself happy if you're not? That's it. And I guess the second question is, can you give us one piece of advice for the person that's about to give up on their dreams?
Ask yourself why you're giving up and analyze that. Analyze that reason. Analyze what it is that's making you give up. Is it people around you telling you that you suck? Because if that's the case, like block those people out. Cut those people out right away. Is it the fact that you've been working on something for 10 years and there's no traction whatsoever?
I'm like, oh my God, I hope this is not my future.
You know.
But yeah.
You know, is there no traction? And I'm talking no traction because for a couple months I was on low traction. But there was movement.
Yeah.
Right? There was movement. I was doing 4 videos a day at the beginning.
Damn.
So like I was doing more work with less movement, and now I'm doing less work with more more movement. So but you gotta see some traction, you know. And it's gotta feel good. You can't feel like if you're waking up in the morning and you're saying it's your dream, but it's your father who's trying to get you to run his business. But it's like, oh, it's my dream. Yeah, it's my dream to run my father's business. But you wake up in the morning and it's like, fuck, I gotta go.
You hate your life.
You know, like if that's the reason to give up, then it's not that you're giving up your dream. It's that you're not living the right dream.
That's amazing. It's that you're not living the right dream.
That's it. You know, make sure that you're actually living
your dream.
Your dream, and not somebody else's. I thought we were waiting for a fist bump there.
We can do that too. We can fist bump into a mic drop.
Mic drop, exactly.
That's it, man.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I think that's what it comes down to.
I think that was an amazing podcast, especially for the first one. I'm like
so
impressed. It was fun and like enlightening, and so I had such different questions to ask you, but we just ran with it.
And that's how it works. You just gotta flow. You know what I'm saying?
Flow.
And just even in terms of whatever you're doing in life, it's just gotta flow. You know, it can't be too like you gotta have some structure, but you always gotta be ready to adapt,
to adjust.
To adjust. You know, you never know what's gonna happen. That's gonna cause you to do something different. So I'm very happy the way this turned out.
Yeah,
I'm very excited to see it.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Should we piece the camera?
Should we? We're piecing. Are we like?
Oh well,
you know?
I guess our listeners can't see the piece, but they can hear the piece.
Yeah, well, like.
Peace.
Are we doing like the hand on the camera thing?
Yeah.
Like, you know. Peace. To the humble lion.
To the humble lion. Be fearless. Boom.
Love it.
Me too.
Mike, I don't know what we're doing. We're doing something.